Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the Daily Tarot for Friday, the 14th of January 2022. I've shuffled, so I'll cut. This is a major arcana reading. Empress in the reverse. Chariot in the reverse, in exactly the same position as yesterday's reading. And the Emperor, okay. Right. Well, it's not time yet for whatever it was that opened out for us a couple of days ago through that window. And whatever choice we took, whatever kind of plan we came up with, or whatever idea we birthed, it's not time yet for it to enter the world in its own right. And for some reason, we are withholding actioning it. And perhaps we are withholding actioning it because simply it's just not the right time yet, and we can tell. It's interesting about the sort of sense of timing of things. And I found through the nearly 9 years of daily Buddhist practice now that my sense generally touch, oh my God, where's some wood? Oh, I can't see any wood. Oh, there's some. Touch wood. My sense of something being timely or not has become finer and keener and more useful, basically. And I think what can mess up our sense of it not being the right time or being the right time on whatever it is the real kind of wanting of something. Sometimes when we really, really want something, the sheer desire for it clouds other ways of looking at it and basically clouds our judgment. And we have this sort of sense that really wanting something is sort of makes it a good idea in its own right. And it's not always the case. You know, it's like really, really wanting the fruit. And so you kind of over fuss the plant in order to sort of hurry up the process of the fruit growing. And, by doing so, you end up damaging the plant. So there's something about holding off here. And it's holding off for a good reason. I mean, there are lots of cards in the tarot that represent forward motion. I mean, all the cards represent some sort of change. But the Empress in the reverse is the non-growth of something for a good reason. There's a benevolent, good idea kind of not happening. Because sometimes it's a good idea. Okay, and that is then backed up by the not happening, not pushing something forward, not riding something forward in the material world, here in the Chariot in the reverse, which is in the same position as it was yesterday. So the horses are in the stable. They are not harnessed. The bridles are hanging up on a nail somewhere in the stable, and the horses are quietly eating their hay and their oats. And funny enough, get a bit horticultural here. Horticultural. In doing that, in not spending the energy moving forward as they would be if this was in the upright, they are taking on the energy of eating the hay and the oats quietly in the stable and producing the manure that will help fertilise the plants for the fruits. So this is a very, very nice duo, which I'm perfectly happy with. In the meantime, we have the card of sort of order here and the card of authority here. And what this is telling me is that this holding off, this waiting, this non-action here in these two cards is basically the right thing to do in this reading on this day. It has been sanctioned by the sovereign. And I guess also there's a message here possibly for trusting our sovereign self and not letting others perhaps push us, or not letting ourselves push us into acting when we kind of feel it's not actually the right time. So if you have that feeling, basically when it is the right time, a sufficient range of conditions will open naturally to enable whatever it is to happen well. Like, for example, waiting until the spring to like sow the seeds. All right, there's no point in sowing them in the, when you're coming into winter. They won't grow. You have to wait for the conditions to be right, and sometimes you do have to wait. So this waiting is, as I say, sanctioned by our sovereign self. And what this is indicating to me is that there may be things that crop up, or things that are said, or things that are noticed that might make us feel like we are dilly-dallying and shilly-shallying, when what we're actually doing is holding off because the time is not yet right. And we should trust that. Right, let's move on. Okay, Hierophant. Temperance in the reverse. And the Magician. Okay, well look, the Hierophant following the Emperor here, excuse me, indicates to me that not only is there the matter of the sovereignty of self to decide for ourselves when it is the right time to do something, there's something deeper than that at work as well with the arrival of the Hierophant here on the table. Yeah, okay, what this is telling me is that the invoking of the Emperor energy, of the sovereignty of the self, not only is it a good idea in order to, as I say, things might come up, things might be said, or kind of present themselves to you that will make you feel like the holding off, the waiting is, I don't know, laziness or procrastination or something like this. Not only is it a good idea to ignore those things, yeah, if you wish, but that those things in themselves are part of something that might not actually be good for you. And there might be some purposeful intent present in them. Because I'm seeing the Hierophant here today as a protective force, as an indication that the sovereignty of self, the deciding for oneself and the ignoring of external influences pushing us and perhaps guilting us, basically, into taking action when it's not the right time for us to take action. The Hierophant is here to protect us in this matter, and it is right, I see here, both in terms of the Emperor energy and the Hierophant energy, that we choose for ourselves when it's the right time to plant those seeds or transplant those plants or do whatever it is. Getting a bit symbolic here. Now, Temperance in the reverse. Okay, this is not a matter of just two different ways of looking at things and two different influences. The deciding for ourselves or going along with what we are pushed towards via external sources, these are not just two equal things and, you know, maybe we'll choose this one or maybe we'll choose that one. There is not equality in this. You know, if the external sources are possibly deliberately acting against our interests, the matter of following our own interests becomes a good in itself. So this is why I see the Temperance card here in the reverse, because the Temperance card is all about equality and a kind of closed circuit, and you know, a specified finite amount of spiritual fluid here moving from one vessel to the other. So it's balance. I think what we're dealing with here is not necessarily a balanced matter. And yeah, the Magician, topping out the reading today. How beautiful. We are in charge. We have the tools. We have the equipment. We have the skills. We have the experience. And we have the knowledge. It rests with us. So if we're being pushed, if we feel like we're being pushed, we are being pushed. And we do not have to yield, because we got it all on the table. And that might be why we're being pushed to act in haste. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.